The entertainment world thought it had seen every kind of on-screen chemistry, every brief spark of public fascination that flares up during a big production and fades the moment the cameras stop rolling. But the dynamic between Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei turned out to be something entirely different. For months, the internet was flooded with silent glances captured in slow motion, behind-the-scenes clips analyzed frame by thousands of hawk-eyed fans, and quiet moments on variety sets where the air between them seemed to suddenly shift key. Yet through all the speculation, the whispered rumors, and the relentless trending topics, both actors had maintained a careful, deliberate silence. Fans had accepted this silence as standard industry procedure, the unspoken boundary between an actor's public image and the private emotional reality, until a sudden break in that reserve shifted everything. When Zhang Linghe finally chose to address the situation in a rare, unscripted moment that took even seasoned interviewers off guard, he didn't deliver a polished public relations statement. Instead, he offered a raw, unvarnished look into a connection that had clearly run far deeper than anyone on the outside had truly understood. To fully grasp the magnitude of what Zhang Linghe revealed, you have to go back to the beginning, to the initial days on set when two of the industry's most captivating young talents were brought together for the first time. On paper, it was a casting director's dream, combining Zhang Linghe's quiet, composed, and introspective aura with Tian Xiwei's vibrant, expressive, and intensely present energy. But off-camera, bringing two personalities of such immense individual scale into the same physical space is always a delicate balance. Eyewitnesses from the early table reads recall a palpable sense of mutual observation, a quiet test of boundaries where neither actor was willing to perform an easy rapport for the sake of appearances. Tian Xiwei, known for her sharp emotional intuition and unfiltered honesty, approached the project with an uncompromising dedication that demanded complete authenticity from her scene partners. Zhang Linghe, whose steady academic precision often masks a deeply reflective interior life, recognized immediately that this was not a project where he could rely on familiar acting habits or safe emotional choices. As the production dragged into long, exhausting night shoots under heavy studio lighting, the professional boundaries between them began to yield to something far more instinctual. Those who were on set during the toughest emotional sequences describe a shift that happened without announcement, an unspoken agreement to shield each other from the sheer weight of the roles they were carrying. During breaks, while the rest of the crew rushed around adjusting lenses and resetting marks, the two of them would often drift into their own quiet perimeter, entirely oblivious to the chaos surrounding them. It wasn't the flashy, superficial banter often seen between co-stars trying to build artificial rapport for promotional tours. It was a rare, grounded solitude shared by two people who had somehow found an anchor in each other amid the intense pressure of the industry. It was during these untracked hours that the foundation was laid, creating an emotional resonance that would eventually spill over the edges of the screen and ignite a massive, global wall of speculation. When the project finally aired, the response was immediate and overwhelming, exploding across social media platforms in a wave of enthusiasm that neither actor's management could fully control. Every interview, every red carpet appearance, and every shared glance on live broadcasts became public property, analyzed by millions seeking to decipher where the scripted narrative ended and real emotion began. Yet, as the noise reached a fever pitch, a visible distance began to form between them in public settings. They were no longer seen interacting with the effortless freedom of their time on set. Instead, their interactions were marked by a cautious, almost painful restraint. Fans were left confused and deeply divided, wondering if the overwhelming media scrutiny had fractured a genuine bond or if the closeness they had witnessed had simply been a masterful illusion designed to drive viewership. The silence grew heavier with each passing month, leaving an unaddressed space that only fueled further speculation, until Zhang Linghe decided it was time to speak. When the moment finally came, it wasn't during a high-stakes, highly publicized television appearance, but rather in a quiet, intimate interview setting where the usual defensive shields were noticeably absent. Asked directly about the intense public interest surrounding his relationship with Tian Xiwei and the sudden wall of silence that followed, Zhang Linghe paused, letting a long, heavy silence fill the room before speaking with a level of candid vulnerability that no one anticipated. He acknowledged the intense pressure of having genuine human emotion dissected by millions, admitting that when a connection reaches a certain depth, the instinct to protect it from the distortion of public perception becomes stronger than any professional duty to perform. He spoke of Tian Xiwei not as a fleeting co-star or a convenient subject of media excitement, but as a rare force of nature who had challenged him to confront his own emotional guards, forcing him to be entirely present in a way few people ever had. His words laid bare the complex reality of navigating profound personal connections under the harsh spotlight of modern stardom, revealing that the distance fans had noticed was never a sign of conflict or indifference, but rather a deliberate choice to safeguard something authentic from being consumed by the industry machine. He revealed how difficult it was to step off a set where you have shared profound emotional truth with someone, only to be expected to immediately package that experience into bite-sized soundbites for public consumption. Tian Xiwei's impact on him, as he described it, was neither small nor momentary. She was a collaborator who had fundamentally altered how he approached his work and how he understood trust within an environment where trust is extraordinarily rare. The raw sincerity of his statement instantly dismantled months of rumors, leaving fans with a profound sense of awe at the depth of what had transpired behind closed doors. What ultimately shocked everyone was not a dramatic scandal or a sensationalized romance confirmation, but the sheer emotional maturity and profound respect that anchored Zhang Linghe's words. In an industry that thrives on quick drama and manufactured narratives, his statement stood out as a testament to a connection that defied easy categorization, leaving a lasting mark on everyone who had followed the journey. It revealed that beneath the glamorous surface of fame, behind the perfectly stylized photographs and carefully curated public appearances, there are real, unscripted moments of human connection that remain untamed by the cameras. For the fans who had watched every step of this evolving story, Zhang Linghe's revelation didn't just provide closure, it honored the quiet truth of what they had sensed all along, proving that some bonds are too real to ever be fully contained by the screen.